Hi, so we're here at SRAM HQ in Schweinfurt Germany, and today we're looking at the new Reverb AXS seat post. And this is a completely new seat post, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, there's, I think the only product on this seat post that carries over from the old design really is the AXS battery, which in itself, there's a reason for that. Obviously, we like with the AXS family to keep that standardization of the battery. It works in all of our AXS components. So yeah, this is a complete ground-up redesign of our Reverb post. So obviously AXS, it's wireless, so that makes that ease of fitting. You know, you can literally just pop it in your bike, you're good to go. So there's none of that fishing wires through, so that's a big part of the benefit of the AXS Reverb.
You can swap from bike to bike.
Yep. Absolutely, if you've got two bikes the same seat post size, you can easily do that. But yeah, there's a lot of other things going on with this post as well in terms of new features that we're bringing to this Reverb, some of which people can see visually, like the position of the battery.
Yeah, so we've got the battery is in a completely new position now. Why is that?
Well, so a couple of reasons, I guess. One is previously, you'd remember the battery was positioned up here behind at the seat clamp area. That is in direct line of fire for any gunk and grime being shot off the rear tyre. So I think there's an element of just having that battery in a slightly cleaner location isn't a bad thing.
It sits in the front now,
exactly.
So it's protected.
So it's now down in the lower portion of the post. It's on the main part of the post rather than the upper part, and that will sit around in front of the seat post here. So it's kind of protected from dirt and grime a bit more. Not that that was ever specifically a problem with the old post, because obviously the battery is sealed and everything, but it's just nice to keep it cleaner in terms of, you know, the longevity of that part. The other thing with that was in the old position there was, in very rare cases, particularly very small frames, the chance that on a massive compression on a full suspension bike, that the rear tyre could come up and actually strike the battery and take it out of its location there. So it's just all round better in that front location.
It's protected right there in the front. This is a completely redesigned system. It's an air system, a lot simpler, it improves the durability. Oh,
massively, yeah. I mean, as I said, complete redesign inside. So it's an air over air design. So we've taken away all of that previous hydraulic element, which had an oil damper in the previous post, which, whilst effective, is hugely complex. If I was to lay out all of the parts of the old Reverb, it's a lot going on in there versus what we can see now
we've got them all laid out here.
An entire post stripped down there in a handful of parts. So that has a number of benefits. The first is it's just way simpler to service. The other thing is that the air over air design needs less servicing, which is a great thing for the rider. So we're now looking at service interval more than double what we would recommend from the old post. So previously we had a 50-hour service recommendation, then 200 hours, and then 600 hours. Now we're only starting at 300 hours. So for most people, there's going to be 2 years of riding in this post before they even need to think about service. And then when they do come to service it, it's so much simpler in terms of the parts. You know, the first service interval is literally just to make sure the seals are lubricated, which is a very simple job, very few parts.
That's after 300 hours.
Yeah, and then the 600 hour would be a rebuild, but the 600 hour service, again, due to the lack of so many parts, is a very easy thing to achieve. So that's great. I mean, that's a massive benefit to the rider. We've got a much more durable post with way less servicing required. The other thing is with less parts, you get less weight. So there's some weight reductions, that's nice. And the other thing is with taking away a lot of the complexity of that previous oil damp system is cost. So we've seen a reduction in cost as well. So literally it's like win-win with this
is
new
much
design.
more competitive now cost-wise.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, this is available in a greater variety of lengths, up to 250mm maximum drop. Yeah,
correct. So we've seen the market changing a lot. Frame designs are changing, and there was a demand for longer and longer drops. So the previous Reverb generation was up to 170mm. Now we're pushing up to 250mm in 25mm increments. So that means, just from the rider's perspective, we're offering way more choice than we had previously.
And this is all part of the AXS ecosystem. We've got the shifter there,
Yeah.
The pod system which you can set up for your seat post.
Yeah, absolutely. So they run the same with an AXS shift pod. So you can match that to the shift buttons that you have on the right-hand side if you're using AXS shifting on your bike. If you don't have AXS shifting on your bike, it doesn't matter. You can still use it as a standalone product. You just buy the shift pod that suits your ride style, and there are different types of shift buttons, let's say, but that's down to rider preference more than anything. You just choose the ones that you like to use.
Yeah, and there's also another interesting feature, which I don't think I've seen this really on any other seat post, and that's Active Ride.
Yeah, Active Ride's a new thing to this generation of Reverb. So what that is the ability to have the suspension offering a little bit of compliance. So we've seen, again, the way people ride bikes is changing. So e-bikes particularly, people love to ride really technical, steep climbs on e-bikes. So it's almost become like a fun part, whereas in the past we would have like hated riding up steep technical. Now people love it on an e-bike because it's almost a challenge to see what they can do. And actually what we've seen is riders liking to drop their seat into the travel on an e-bike as they climb steep stuff. But obviously they want to keep pedaling smoothly and use that motor to help them up the climb. But with the Reverb in Active Ride, what that means is the seat is actually going to move as like a compliance, which just adds that ability to stay seated, stay comfortable, have those sort of technical climbs, the bumps absorbed, and maintain your smooth pedaling. So we've seen particularly the e-bike riders really like that feature of this post. And that will become apparent when you're in any other position other than fully top or fully bottom. So when the post is up or down, it's locked. If you're anywhere in the middle, you get this benefit of this Active Ride.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. So there we have the new RockShox Reverb AXS seat post. I think a big improvement over previous versions. I'm looking forward to trying it out myself. And we've got more SRAM videos. Check the links in the description, and remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.